This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
This show is brought to you by Pet King Brands, the makers of Zymox and Oratine.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Now, you've heard the expression, it's Greek to me. Well, for our special guest today, that phrase carries extra special meaning. Yes, he's Greek, and yes, he did help create the #1 Greek yogurt for people more than a decade ago. But after being inspired by his picky-eating dog named Kelby, he has created a lineup of healthy treats for dogs and cats. And, oh, yeah, he's big on giving back to great pet causes. Please give pause and applause to the founder and CEO of Boss Dog Brand, Basel Nassar. Hey, welcome to the show, or should I say, Oompa.
Whoopah, bravo. Thanks for having me, Arden. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, we're going to find out what the heck Boss Dog Brand is all about, how it could maybe help your dog's tummy and your kitties, and some of the cool things that Basel is doing to help our pets all over the globe. But we got to pay for the show. So sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Hey, pet pals, Arden Moore here. Is your dog or cat prone to ear infections? Does your pet resist having his ears cleaned when they're inflamed or irritated? Are you also concerned about the overuse of antibiotics? Help is here. Zymox ear care products offer soothing relief, and you'll love this part. They don't require the ear to be cleaned before you apply the drops. It's just as easy as fill, rub, and done. That means less touching of those sensitive ears to help create a soothing, fear-free experience. And you only apply once a day. Here's another perk. Zymox, that's Z-Y-M-O-X, gets its effectiveness from enzymes, not antibiotics. You'll find these veterinary-recommended products through your veterinarian, most pet specialty retailers, and online. To learn more, go to Zymox.com. That's Z-Y-M-O-X. Pause up.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I'm delighted to have on our show Basel Nassar, and he is the founder and CEO of a company called Boss Dog Brand. Just go to bossdogbrand.com after the show and you'll see a little bit more about it. But this guy has put a lot of living in his life. I guess you would be calling yourself it sounds kind of like you're a serial killer, but you're not. You're a serial entrepreneur. What the heck does that mean?
It means that you're unemployed for a fair amount of time before any of your concepts take off. And then if you're fortunate enough to get to market and do it right, then you're a successful serial entrepreneur. So I've been doing this for 30 years now, where I've worked for myself, had a lot of experience in finance, accounting, and operations, which really led to me starting my own businesses. And I think the most recent one, as you mentioned early on, was our Greek yogurt for humans.
Right.
Me and a few Greek guys got together in 2002 and said, hey, we got this factory. We got, some know-how. I mean, mind you, at the time, I think we're all in our early 20s. Mm-hmm. And we actually launched with a hummus concept. And shortly thereafter, we realized that Greek yogurt was where it was at. We focused our attention there. And it was 20 years later, one of the more dominant brands in the market. So I think that defines one as a serial entrepreneur. I've had a few ventures in between. There was a couple of years where I decided to get out of the industry and get into something completely different. And I spent about 3 months in Georgia, and I learned how to moonshine whiskey.
Okay, now you're talking. All right.
Yeah. You asked me what a serial entrepreneur is. I'm trying to tell you. And so so we did that for a while, realized liquor and spirits was a category that we didn't want to be in very quickly. And, we live by the mantra, fail fast, win big. If you're not going to win early, get out. And then, about 2 years ago, I decided to get into pet. And it had to do a lot with, the adoption of my Kelby, and then building our zoo now. My wife and I are proud to say we've got 3 dogs, a cat, and Otis, our 120-pound sulcata tortoise that we really built just a real tranquil habitat for. So it's kind of like a happy family here of animals and people. And I thought, why not get into pet, and why not take everything that in digestive health over the 20 years and apply it to pet standard? And so that's really what Boss Dog stands for.
Well, let's get right into it, because I know your theme song is not working 9 to 5. I don't think you're going to be channeling your inner Dolly Parton on this. But let's talk about the inspiration, and that is Kelby. Tell us a little bit about Kelby's situation when it came to mealtime.
Kelby was really more of a blessing for me. I think we all go through different challenges in our lives, professionally and personally. And I was going through one at the time. I didn't have any animals in my life, and I was determined to bring my Kelby back to me, which in Arabic actually translates to my dog. I had an original Kelby when I was a child. It was a German Shepherd Collie mix that was just too rambunctious for us to keep. And so we ended up sending him off to a farm. So, some 40 years later, I'm saying, hey, I got to bring Kelby back into my life. And Kelby early on was just a normal dog. He would eat the standard kibble. And then we started to notice he was having a lot of digestive challenges. You could, just kind of see it in terms of what was happening in the yard. And that's probably the most romantic way I can put it.
There's some nice stinky landmines I think you're talking about, right? I'm a poopologist when I'm not on the air. So bring it on, man.
When they're, and especially when you got a 150-pound Ridgeback putting it out. So, we realized that there was a gap in the pet space where there weren't any of the primary brands focusing on treat, supplement, or daily meal solutions that had a digestive angle. And I said, why? And so we recruited some of the best regulatory and food people in the business. I took some of the individuals that are probably responsible for innovating 80% of the cultured dairy in the market today. And I said, let's do something for pets, guys. And that's really how it started. And I thought, why not Greek-style frozen yogurt for starters? You can supplement your pet's probiotics all day long, but it's the reason why you and I don't do it. We like to sit down and enjoy a nice froyo or an ice cream, and I like to see my pets enjoy themselves. So that's what we did. We created a Greek-style frozen yogurt loaded with probiotics that pets could enjoy. And fast forward 12 months later, we're in over 30,000 points of distribution, and we have 4 or 5 product segments that are in the market today beyond the froyo. So that was the inspiration, Arden.
Well, I think that's a pretty good inspiration. How is his digestive system going now? How's Kelby doing?
I'll tell you, with the froyo, which was kind of the first step, and then now we've moved him to an all raw diet. And there's a right way and a wrong way, we believe, to administer raw application for daily consumption. His retention of moisture is through the roof. His coat has changed dramatically. The shedding has almost completely gone away. And I'm seeing these changes not only in the Ridgeback, but in our standard poodle and our micro Yorkie. And everybody was slow intro to raw. But I think that was the first step. When we introduced the raw goat milk with the DHA and taurine components,
right,
we just started to see even further absorption. He's retaining about 80% of his consumption daily now, whereas before, I think, if you kind of did the hard math on what he was putting out, I'd say less than 50% absorption rate.
Oh, that's not good.
No, so just in the output, we're seeing the response. And then again, like I said, you can see the quality in coat and shedding. And so that's where we're seeing the benefits. So it's real results. And that's what's exciting about it.
Well, let's talk about this, because as a serial entrepreneur, I like your mantra that you said, but you're getting into a pretty tough industry, pet food. And so you see a deficit healthy supplements for digestive systems with the pre and probiotics and other goodies. But knowing this and implementing this are two different things, right?
Well, look, I mean, here we're passionate about it, but we're also astute business people. I mean, the group that represents Boss Dog brand is a team of individuals that grew a yogurt consumption company to over 300 million in street sales. So we understand how to take products to market. Here's the nerdy explanation. We're a narrow segment opportunity company. We look at taking well-positioned brands that we own and finding areas where we think we can add tremendous value. And that's what Boss Dog does, because pet, quite frankly, is, saturated in kibble and bit. And we didn't want to be another Me Too innovation. And I think that's why the industry has been responding to us at the rate that they have. We're creating real innovation with positive result.
And so let's go down the lineup, because you did talk about you started off with the Greek frozen yogurt, but now you've got some other goodies. My dog is sitting right here, Kona, and she's starting to drool. So please don't make her wait.
Yeah, absolutely. So Greek style frozen yogurt treats for pets, and it's actually good for dogs and cats. Even though the brand Boss Dog implies dog, we believe any animal can be a boss. Okay.
And is your boss named Frankie at home?
My cat, our Siamese lynx mix is Frankie.
Okay.
He's a dog. He goes on walks with us without a leash. He'll follow us for miles. It's unbelievable. He's part of the pack.
Good.
But yeah, so we launched Greek style frozen yogurt treats for pets January of 2019. You can find it in a 4-pack or a single variety. It's all 100% human grade, lactose free, and 3 billion probiotics per cup. It's very important that we understand what the difference between probiotics beginning a shelf life and probiotics end a shelf life means. And the education side of this, before I get into our product profile, is anybody can claim probiotics. We come from a world in consumers where there's actually a standard colony count required to be able to make a probiotic claim. Those standards, unfortunately, haven't been adopted yet formally, fully in pet. So we're saying, as a digestive solutions brand, let's raise the bar and set those standards. So while our Greek Froyo starts with close to 9 billion probiotics per cup, end of shelf life, it's closer to 3 billion. So we believe, since the consumer doesn't buy it on day one, it's only fair to make an end of shelf claim. So transparency in what's in the product, transparency to the survivability rate of the probiotics is very important to us. So that's why it's very important.
Well, the other thing is, you do need, to say something like human grade, you got to back that up, because it's got to be done in a human processing lab. Tell us a little bit about that.
Everything we do is pasture to package. So all the cows for the Froyo come from one farmer, 3rd-generation farmer based out of the Central Valley in California. So we know where all the milk's coming from. There's no co-op scenario where we're importing milk from a variety of different farms. That's critical. The human grade requirement is it's made in a human grade facility.
Right.
It requires affidavits for all of the ingredients to be examined at the state level, of which our team does a tremendous job getting state level licensing, and just all the other attributes that the line has. So as we started to build our platform out and move into our raw format, we launched our raw goat milk. Again, a commodity item that's already available on the market today. I says, look, I don't want to be Me Too. I don't want to modify it beyond the purity of it, which is just raw goat milk. So what can we do to add value? And this was before this massive DCM crisis hit the industry. We said, let's introduce taurine and DHA to the product as a supplement solution. And so beyond all the properties that you get from raw goat milk, moisture absorption, amino penetration, a lot of different properties, you're getting the benefits of the taurine and DHA as well. So that's been a great item that we introduced March of 2019 that's being used as a topper or just a straight consumable solution. People love the product. It's doing very well.
And let's talk about taurine. It's an important amino acid, and DHA. So for our folks, what does that mean for our pets? Answer the so what.
Well, taurine is amino-like substance. Here, it's basically involved as a precursor in many enzymatic reactions, and it's a required building block of protein. Cats require about 0.2% taurine in a canned pet food and about 0.1% in a dry pet food. Dogs currently have no requirement for taurine as they're able to make it. However, there has been some science to suggest that some dogs are taurine deficient. And if you're concerned, we have a solution for you.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So
But-
you got the raw milk, and you've got your original lineup with the Greek style frozen yogurt. Talk about the other two that I see on your site.
September of 19, we wanted to take the line from treat and supplement segments into our first complete and balanced meal line while following the pasture to package concept. And so we said, look, there's already freeze-dried concepts out there. Let's stay consistent with the brand message. And this was really a more challenging process for us because we had to find a way to infuse probiotics. And if you're looking at our 12-ounce complete meal bag of freeze-dried protein, you'll see a large logo on the front that calls out our BC30 probiotic,
Right.
along with the claim that we're infusing. And that's actually more complicated and more challenging than it sounds. We're trying to take a live spore, introduce it to a chum protein that has survivability through high pressure pasteurization and freeze drying. It's not easy to do, and that's a reason why people haven't been able to do it. So this particular product took about a year to learn where in the process point we needed to introduce the spore and at what level we needed to introduce it. So essentially, this is an 80% first ingredient protein. We have 3 formats: beef, chicken, and fish. It's complete and balanced, but we sized them down to nug format. So you can use it as a topper, mixer, a treat, or a training tool. So it's the complete meal or training solution infused with probiotics, over 5 million per cup. So that was a real exciting entry into the line. Very competitive segment because you have to convince your consumer to move from what they're used to on a complete meal system. And so there's been a lot of trial and entry there. But Boss Dog handles that through what we call our At Your Service platform. And I can expand on that when you're ready.
Okay, well, finally, I'm having a craving for Cheetos, which are not good. So tell us why your Pro Puffs are not Cheetos for dogs.
Here's where we really raised the bar on innovation. I said, look, there's a big concern out there right now about grain-free concepts. We don't really take a position on it either way. Everybody's dog is different. So Pro Puffs was an innovation that took ancient grains, quinoa, sorghum, millet, and a patented forming process where we actually have the patent where we form the grain into a pillow puff and infuse it with protein and probiotics. So there's only 2.7 calories per puff. So for people that like to essentially overtreat, you're not going to overtreat your animal. You're getting a probiotic load and you're getting an ancient grain-based solution. So it's a very clean label, 4 to 5 ingredients, probiotic and protein loaded. Fun item for us. It launched 3 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations.
While all the items have been well received, this one is doing extraordinarily well. So, every once in a while you get it right. We got it right with Pro Puffs. So Pro Puffs actually start the platform for our Pro Series. And so you'll see the new Pro Balls line, which are beef and chicken meatballs coming out in June.
Oh, wow.
And that's pretty much all of our innovation in the first half. Yeah.
That's all you've been doing, man? Come on, get busy. Hey, folks, we're speaking with Basel Nassar, and he is the brains behind Boss Dog Brand. When we get back from the commercial, and please go to bossdogbrand.com after the show, we're going to get into his give back side because this dude does a lot. So you guys know the drill. Let's sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. All Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Hey, pet pals, Arden Moore here to unleash some great health advice. It's time to be down in the mouth for the benefit of your dog and cat. Unleashing good oral care is one of the best ways to show love for your pet. Do you find brushing your pet's teeth challenging? Here is a terrific solution. Treat your dog to Oratine Brushless Oral Care. Oratine makes caring for your pet's oral health super easy. The difference is the enzymes. The advanced enzyme technology in Oratine works to freshen the breath. It eliminates bacteria, fungus, and yeast. Yuck. They also reduce plaque biofilm from accumulating on the teeth. And guess what? None of these products require actual brushing. Woohoo! You can choose from these 3 products. 1, a water additive that gives your pet the benefits of oral care with every lap of water. 2, a breath freshening spray with a gentle mister. Or 3, a brushless toothpaste gel you can apply with your finger. If your pet tolerates brushing, hey, you can always brush too. To learn more, visit Zymox.com, ZYMOX.com, and look under the oral care product line. Do it today.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hey, this is Allie Sweeney from Pets Are Alive and The Biggest Loser, and you're listening to Arden Moore on the Obie Hayes Show on Pet Life Radio.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Obie Hayes. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the Old Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I'm learning a lot with our special guest. He is Basel Nassar from Boss Dog Brand. Basel, I know that you know your stuff with food and processing and being a serial entrepreneur, but if anybody goes to your website and they go under that tab that says Boss Dog Cares, it is a virtual who's who of folks in the pet community that could really use help to help pets. So time to bring out your Kleenex, Basel. I'm just teasing. But let's talk about the give back part of you.
I'll tell you, my marketing side has always been sales first. And it was 2 years ago that my wife softened me to an extent and said, we need to look at the other side of the business. And even though she's not involved, we actually come from not myself, but my close family, a law enforcement, military background. So, we started looking at where we thought we could make an immediate impact with what they do for a daily living. And so I immediately went out and I told the team, I know what everybody else does. They find one or two charities, they make that their mission. And then, I'm not saying that that's the wrong way to do it, but that's not what I want to do. What I wanted, and this came from really the birth of Facebook and social media. You started seeing daily causes for animals that needed help, independent pets, local rescues. And I thought I wanted to create an open source charity concept. And so I challenged the team. And remember, this is a highly skilled marketing team that came over from the consumer side. And I said, let's find a way to go out and actually make a difference. And so we started with Pets for Vets. And then every month we go out and we work with charities that either come to us or we believe have an immediate need. And we'll find a way to help support them, whether we're sending out 200 care packages for trainers to take puppies home to integrate dogs into the home. A big one that's coming for us that may be postponed, and this is the only plug you'll hear on what's, the unfortunate circumstance of the virus today that's delaying some of these things. We have a couple in Canada that just quit their jobs, unfortunately, untimely, and will be hitting the road and basically meeting every shelter and rescue in Canada with the purpose of helping to train the dogs to purpose them home. And we had an objective over the course of the next year to touch 100 rescues in North America with Megan and Florian from Paws to Rescue. That's still going to happen, but it's going to be delayed a few months.
Okay, so tell us, how do we find out about this couple? Again, their names are?
Megan and Florian. You can actually just go to our website on bossdogbrand.com and you'll see, I think within the front, the first header slide, a link to the Paws on the Road campaign.
Okay, good.
Yep. And there's a nice little link there that takes them on their mission. But these are the things that we're doing and that we're going to continue to do. We have a young lady in our team, Shay Russo, that heads up our At Your Service platform. So she works very closely with Mary Tan, that heads up our adoption and rescue side. And they together send out these swag kits. We'll send out money donations. We'll send out 1,000 free cups of froyo for all the dogs to have on a warm day, or cats.
Good.
And so these are things that we do and will continue to do.
Well, I think it's giving back. I think I'm glad you listened to your wife.
Yes. And now we're, so I told you the animals that we have now. So now we're close to rescuing a donkey and a peacock. So there'll be an update here shortly. She's really converted the whole profile of our family and home. We love her for it though.
A donkey and a peacock. I don't know if that's the start of a country song or a joke.
I think maybe both.
And what is your wife's name?
My wife's name is Ilse.
Okay, I want to give a shout out to her, Ilse.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't confuse her with the person from Frozen, right?
No. We don't want to confuse with Elsa. Yeah.
So if you could wave a wand or a
Mhm.
leash or a magic leash or whatever you could do, Basil, what would be something that you wished everybody would do for their dogs and cats to keep them happy and healthy?
Well, I mean, right now, for example, we're stopping all sales calls and
Mhm.
basically working directly with the brick and mortar retailers, the mom paws of the world, and saying, what can we do to help you guys? We have brand ambassadors that work in select territories. They've all been grounded. Can we make calls to your customers for you to ensure them that, coupons are going to be available, that the .com online services, pickup curbside's available? These are the things that we're doing now. But, I think at this point, it's just continue to send the message home that building immunity in your pets is critical. The reason why our family works out every day, our dogs get run and walked every day, and, we feed them the right and proper nutrition. And I think that's, at a minimum, the least that you can do, whether we're in trying times or normal times.
Oh, that's perfect. And I don't think there'll ever be a normal time, but I'll tell you what, it's always a special time when you have a dog or two or cat in your life. Don't you agree?
I agree completely. They're blessings and truly what they say, man's best friend. Yeah.
There you go. Any last things? We're talking with Basel Nassar. He is the brains behind Boss Dog Brand, which I like the name. It's awesome. And I want you to guys go over there and please sniff around the site because he's got products available. Yes, he wants to keep your pets healthy, but there are also a lot of give backs and some really good informative articles that they've posted. You don't do anything I'm going to say it. You don't do anything half-assed, do you?
No, not at all. And anybody that's interested in the brand can simply go to our contact page, and somebody in our marketing team will send them coupons or an intro link to a store near them, and they'll get something for free or of great value.
That sounds good. It has been really a pleasure to speak with you, Basil, and we're going to be posting the show soon. Hey, everybody, go to bossdogbrand.com after the show. I also want to give a special shout out to my producer who's been working overtime this week with all the shows on Pet Life Radio. We're doing everything we can to give you the best vetted out information on dealing with the COVID-19 and your pets. And we also want you to know that what you put in the bowl or what you give in a food treat or what you give as a treat to your pet, really pay attention because nutrition is important to keep them healthy, happy for a long, long life. So until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.